If you're building your business but can't even afford to pay yourself right now, I need you to hear this, because the truth is, profit doesn't just appear when you work harder. Whether you're currently making sales or can't land your first client, I've seen incredible entrepreneurs grind for years only to wake up one day and realize they've built something that's slowly bleeding them dry. And I know this because I was one of them. Sometimes the cracks are obvious, most of the time they're hidden until it's too late. And that's why I'm making this video for you, so that you can find those cracks now, fix them fast, and build something that actually puts money in your pocket. But before we get into that, if you're new here, my name's John. I'm a husband and father and founder of both AdClients.com and AdCon, the UK's #1 marketing event for online entrepreneurs. And over the last 10 years, I've built multiple online service-based businesses that have generated over $40 million in sales without having to hustle 24/7, sacrifice my personal life, or stop doing the things that I love. And now right here on the channel, I help other people do the same. So I've now created an amazing 5-step framework for having a business that actually works, functions, is profitable, makes you great money, and is enjoyable to run. But this was born out of a really tough time and lots of trial and error. I remember a time where I was getting the wheels moving. I was getting what we would call momentum, right? I'm getting a bit of traffic and I'm building some sales funnels. I'm generating some clients. I feel like I have a business, but every time I look at my bank account, there's nothing there. I'm working harder than ever before, and then I'm constantly trying to follow these trends in the industry, and it feels like everything's changing faster than I can keep up. And so although I'm landing some clients, on the surface it looks good, behind the scenes I feel like I have a business with cracks everywhere, and I feel like at any moment the whole thing could come crashing down. I felt like I was just one decision at any moment from going out of business, and slowly but surely I learned the right skills. I invested in mentors and coaches, and I found a way to not only make millions, but keep millions and have epic businesses with great clients and actually love doing what I'm doing. And again, it's all down to this 5-step framework. It's called the Momentum Framework, and it's my free gift to you. We're going to use this as a reference point for today's video, and you can follow along if you want. There's a link in the description box and you can get this for free. This will be super valuable for you if you use it. So I'm going to take you through this entire 5-step framework, and I'm going to point out the most likely mistakes that you're making right now. If you're struggling in your business, not making the sales you want, not keeping the money that you want, not getting enough traffic, not getting enough conversions, you're doing something wrong on this framework. The good news is, if you learn this, study this, master this, this is the blueprint for launching and scaling $1 million online businesses. So let's get into it. Step 1 is the foundations, and this is where every entrepreneur should start way before we're talking about traffic, funnels, sales, any of that stuff. We've got to first achieve this stuff. I call it getting your house in order. If we don't have your house in order, you've got no hope of converting traffic, even if you could get some. So let's talk about what this looks like. There's 4 things. The first is you. It's your communication skills, your ability to actually share what it is that you have in a way that lands with the right people. It's been able to have the confidence in yourself and your product and your business and what you do. Like, you may not realize it right now, but one of the reasons you're putting yourself out there on social media and you're not getting much coming back, or you've launched a sales funnel and no one's really seeing it, might actually lie in the fact that there's an underlying lack of confidence, and that leads you to not give 110% every time. Or you've built a sales funnel and the premise of it is great, but you just haven't learnt the right communication skills to get that across in the right way. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the offer, right? Like, you've got to make sure you've got the right offer, speaking to the right person at the right time in the right way, and you're pricing yourself correctly. No hope going out there, driving traffic and building sales funnels if you're not even really sure of what you're selling and who you're selling it to. So we've got to get our offer dialed in, and this is often the problem. I've spoken to hundreds of clients at this point that are struggling to grow their businesses, and they think it's traffic, and they think it's social media, and they think it's their sales funnel, they think it's their sales process. It's not. It's their offer sucks. They don't know how to communicate it. They are not pricing themselves right. It's all around the offer. So you've got to spend some time there. The next thing's branding. There used to be a time in the golden years ago, where you could launch a 7-figure business without really any branding whatsoever. I've made millions of dollars without so much as a logo, right? But just you can't get away with that anymore. There has to be an overarching brand, and it transcends beyond just a logo and the font you use, right? It's your company style. It's your personal brand. It's your story. It's the way you position yourself on social media. There's got to be some branding in place. And finally, it's the operation. It's having a clean, simple operation that's not messy. Everything's tracked. You're following the clues for what's working in the business, You don't want to have a business where success is looking in your bank account and you've got a little bit more money in there today than you did have yesterday, and business is bad if you've got slightly less money than you had the previous day. You've got to have better control over the operation of your business. So that makes up step one. That is getting your house in order, working on you, your offer, your brand, and your operation. And once you tick that box, now you can venture out of your house and go out there on social media, start to drum up some business. And that moves us to step two, which is attention. How are we getting attention of the right people at the right time in the right way? And there's 3 traffic strategies that we have to combine. And it's buy it, build it, borrow it. And again, if you're struggling in this area, if your problem right now is that you just can't get enough eyeballs, new eyeballs on your stuff, it's probably because you're focusing on only one of these traffic sources, or you're spreading yourself way too thin, trying 100 different things every day, and you're not getting any meaningful result from any of them. What you should be doing is focusing on 3 strategies and having at least one platform that you're implementing each strategy on. So first we have buy it. This is where we're using our money and we're launching paid ads. Maybe that's on Meta, maybe that's on YouTube, maybe that's on LinkedIn. We want to have a buy it strategy in the business, but we want to start with just one of them so we can get our feet wet, test it out, and get it working. We want to couple that with a borrow it strategy. We want to find other people that have the audience that we want, and we find a way to borrow it. That is getting on their stages if they're running events. That's getting on podcasts. So that is building connection with people. This is a long-term strategy, but it needs to be another part of the business. And then to complete the trifecta, we're going for build it traffic. This is exactly what I'm doing right now. Uploading content onto YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn or Google, wherever your natural place would be that you are able to create content in a style that works for you. Now we have 3 strategies all supporting each other. We've got some paid ads for that immediate traffic coming in. We've got a build it platform for where people can just find you naturally and explore what it is that you have. And we've got platforms where we're borrowing other people's audiences and they work together to give you a lasting business. Meaning you're not relying on any one strategy that if the rug is pulled from under your feet, then you are swimming upstream without a paddle. Now, once we've got some traffic coming in from these 3 different platforms, then we move to step 3, which is the marketing, right? We need to now turn those eyeballs and that attention into leads and people that actually want to buy stuff from us. So we need to have what I call a conversion vehicle, a way in which we can turn people from cold to sold. And it's so important that we have some form of lead capture at the front end of that conversion vehicle. So what this might look like is you have a webinar presentation. That is the sales funnel. That is the conversion vehicle, but someone has to register with their name and email to attend the webinar. And so now you've generated the lead and you've got a chance to put them into your conversion vehicle that's going to be able to share in that presentation who you are, what you're about, what you've got, provide a bit of value and lead them to a place where they're interested in potentially working with you. A big mistake that I see many online entrepreneurs making is they skip this step of having a conversion vehicle and instead they go straight from traffic to sales, meaning that they speak to someone on social media for 5 minutes and the next thing they know, they're on the phone with that person trying to close them into their program and wondering why they're being hit with no after no after no, and you're not enjoying those conversations. It's because you didn't leverage the marketing piece in step 3 to build the demand for you completely automatically with something like a webinar. And step 4 is sales. You need to be really clear upfront and have planned for this as to what your sales approach is going to be. There are 2 primary ways of doing this. You've got what's called one-to-many sales and one-to-one sales. One-to-one sales is picking up the phone and speaking to a prospect, or jumping on a Zoom call and speaking to a prospect. One-to-many sales is when you would do a presentation and stitch an offer to the end of the presentation. You could be speaking to 10 people, 100 people, or 1,000 people at the same time, and you're making an offer one time to multiple people. Now, this is typically to do with price point, and you might find that the mistake you're making is you're using one of those 2 options for the wrong price point. I'll give you an example. If you are selling a $5,000 coaching program, but trying to sell that one-to-many, you're going to really struggle because people are hesitant to spend that much money when they don't get to speak to you one-to-one. But you could be making the opposite mistake. You could be spending the time getting on the phone one-to-one to sell a $500 program. And you've got no business doing that. You're wasting your time. You're not going to see the return on your time that you should be if you're doing it that way. So here's my rule of thumb if you're taking notes. Anything 0 to 2,000, we do one-to-many sales. Anything 2,000 and above, we're going high ticket and we're speaking to people on the phone. And finally, we've got step 5. And believe it or not, this might be the most likely reason why you're struggling. All of these have reasons why you could be. You may not have your house in order. You might not have understood your traffic strategies. You may not have a conversion vehicle and you may be doing sales slightly wrong. But most people miss step 5 completely and wonder why they're struggling. Step 5 is nurture. Nurturing is taking the opportunity that you already have in the business and maximizing it. Meaning you have 100 new leads, people that find you on social media, opt into your funnel and get onto your email list. A very small portion of those people will convert into a customer or a client. Let's say you have 100 leads, 5 of them become a client. You forget about the 95 and go hunting for another fresh 100 people to find a new 5 from the 100, not realizing that you've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people accumulating over time on your email list. They are potential buyers. You just haven't activated them yet. A big takeaway for you right now needs to be that there is so much untapped opportunity there, and it will be easier for you to find more buyers from the pool of opportunity you already have than going out there and hunting for more people. So what this looks like is every day, every week, every month, you are sending communication out to your existing audience and to your email list. You're providing more value. You're following up with second chances to hear about the offer that you've got. You're making new offers to them. And I guarantee you, if you just spend some time focusing on this, you will find you'll be landing more clients left, right, and center from within that pool of opportunity you've already got. And we're also nurturing people at step 5 that have made a buying decision, right? Think about this. Someone becomes a client with you. We often take them through the experience, they get the result, we high five at the end and we part ways. That person, having had a great experience with you, wants to spend more money if you just had something else that they could buy. So there are ways for you to have multiple offers now so that you can increase what we call the lifetime value of a client. If someone was worth $5,000 to you and that was it, and then you added another $5,000 program that they can enter once they complete the previous, if that same person buys this one, they're now worth $10,000 to you instead of 5. You've doubled the value. You've doubled the business by just maximizing opportunity that you already had. So don't forget to access your copy of this. There's a link in the description box. It also comes along with a more detailed breakdown of exactly how to use this than I just did right there so that you can actually implement this in your business, get some great results. Also, if you enjoyed today's video, check this one out because I break down some potentially terrifying changes in the industry, but you need to be aware of them if you have any hope of surviving with the wave that's coming. So check that out right now. Thanks for watching this video and I'll see you at a future one.